How you guys doing? Hey Doug, how you doing? Sorry, I was on Google Maps trying to figure out what I'm doing today. Looks like, yeah, I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to go. Um, Good morning, Flea. How you doing, my brother? And everyone else in the room. I don't know who's everyone that's here. Um, my morning caffeine. They don't have Sting. Sting like in Vietnam. That was my main one. So I'm reduced to the M150. So this is like a cheap Red Bull. Well, actually about the same price as their the Red Bulls. Not like the Red Bulls back in the States. Those actually are really expensive. But the ones that are from I think Thailand is where they're more or less were first invented. You know what I'm saying? So this is I spent 2 nights here in this hostel. That's a swimming pool. It was only like $1. I'm here in Kuta Lombok, and I know my videos are a little far behind, a few days behind, so I'm not sure if the last one was me over in Ubud or which one I was at. So, but yeah, I'm here in Kuta Lombok, and yeah, so I stayed here. Kuta is actually very nice. It's a nice little. It's very like touristy, but it hasn't built up. You know, like you can see all the work they're still doing, so you can find lots of natural pockets still that are like not overly crowded. And there's like an international racetrack out here. If you go out there, if you rent a scooter, you can go out there. I didn't rent a scooter because I got my bicycle. But that whole area around the racetrack is just all open, like roads that wind and stuff. And even all the locals go out there. All the local kids go out there with their scooters and just ride around everywhere. So I did a lot of exploring out there, and I filmed it. So that'll all be on film. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, last video was in Ubud. That's the public ones. The 99-cent club ones are usually a day before that, or usually they're as soon as I upload them. But I still have like one I haven't fully opened. I didn't want to do a bunch of videos together, but I spent one day just editing. And yeah, you kind of sometimes have to do that. Just spend one whole day, set it to the side just for editing, because it consumes so much time. But there you go. Berugo. Are you going to Berugo, homie? I would have to look on the map. Honestly, I don't know all the names of all these places out here. And that's what I was just doing, was like trying to figure out where the next port is to get over to the next island. And that'll probably be my last island. The port's about 86 kilometers from here. I think from what Adam, my friend Adam, was telling me, is I'm actually in the nicest section of Lombok. So this little stretch of not that long, maybe the next 10 kilometers is really beautiful. And then I think I head more like inland. I'll probably find a coastal road somewhere. But to get to the next port, it's like 86 kilometers, and I have a feeling that next island looks like it's very, very mountainous. So that one's probably going to kick my butt. So, but then from there, I'm going to start heading up north again. Jay actually, Javis, or however, I'm just going to call you Jay, brother. He actually made one of the live streams. He's always saying, oh, I missed another live stream. I'm like, brother, you're just lying. You haven't made one yet. And every time it's like, oh man, I just barely missed it. And I'm like, sure you did, homie. Sure you did. Brother, I'm glad you made it. It's one of those things I don't have much to talk about. So, but since this place had okayed Wi-Fi, I mean, If you're sitting outside, it's okay. As soon as you go in the room, you lose it. So all my uploads, I had to use my data because the upload time takes a long time. So, but the live streams, it's a beautiful, cooler, cooler weather, 44 kilometers north of you, bud. And enjoy the weather. And I'm not in New Bud though. Like I said, my videos are a little behind. So I am in Lombok. I'm in Kuta Lombok. And very affordable. You know, it's like 2 nights was after taxes and stuff. 2 nights was like $2.95. And someone was like, "Well, is the room under a bridge?" Okay, so I ran into this before. These places, let me kind of pan around. They got a big pool, right? They got a bar, and they have all these right over here. I'll try not to walk around too much. Jungle tour, island tour, surf lessons, and you know. So what they do is they sell the rooms for really cheap, you know, really cheap. And this is not the first time I ran into it, you know, where you get each night's only like $1 or $2. But then they focus more or less making their money around their drinks, because their drinks are at like 50,000, you know, for like a beer, and like 100,000 for like a mixed drink. So, you know, that's where the real money's coming from. And they're making their money off a lot of people here surf. So once it's kind of like why stores offer certain things like on Black Friday at such a discount. Is basically just to get you in, and while you're in there trying to buy the super discounted thing, you're going to end up buying a bunch of regular price things. So yeah, so their main focus, so they offer a lot for the money. You know, it's like, I mean, you can get away with a lot less quality at hostels than you can at hotels. Well, not recently. It seems like some of the hotels are just as bad as the hostels. But they usually stock all the soap, toilet paper, all the Western, you know, economy, you know, things that Western tourists are used to. So the value for your dollar is really good. And their main focus is just you're trying to get money off the tours and the drinks. And so if you're an older person looking for like quiet, maybe not the best places, because it's usually loud music, you know, and drinking, and a younger crowd. I don't mind that at all, so I got earplugs. So yeah, these do pop up once in a while, and they're a really good deal. All right, let's see. Oh crap! Sorry, I didn't see all these. Hey CS, how you doing, my brother? Good morning. Hobo, are you going surfing? No, I don't surf. I used to skateboard, but I never got good at. Well, I don't know. I didn't grow up around the water. I grew up in the mountains of California, so that's a different crowd altogether. It's kind of like Northern California is all the cool, like mountain people and pot smokers and stuff like this, and Southern California is all the cities, the desert, and the gangs, you know. And anyway, and you also kind of had California the same way. You had the beach people over here. That's the more expensive areas like Santa Cruz and San Francisco, and you have to have a pretty penny to live out there. And then you had the tree folk like me, you know, the ones that are living out in the sticks up in the mountains. And that was up by like, but you got to remember that's like Lake Tahoe, that's the Pacific Crest Trail. So you have a lot of the people that are, you know, hikers and campers and stuff. And that's how I grew up, around rivers. So my thing, we used to go tubing. So back in the days when tires actually had tubes in them, you could go down to the tire shop and just get, you know, buy a bunch of the old used patched up tubes off the guy for just like $1, or I don't know, back then it was less than $1 probably. And you just go down to the river. You got 2 people with 2 cars. One parks way down here and everybody piles into this car, and one person drives way upstream, and I mean way upstream, like the farther the better. And you drop off and you just float down the whole day. You get in the car and you go drive back and get the other car. And that's how us mountain people did it. see. So yeah, no, I haven't surfed, and I don't know. I don't have anything against it. I just, you know, you have to go through that embarrassment phase where you're not having fun at first because you're still learning. I'd have to go through that. I recently was in Kuta before Christmas. Hated it. Really gone downhill. Well, you can see that in so. I like Kuta just because. Well, which Kuta are you talking about? Are you talking about Kuta in over in? Oh, come on, is that Bali? It's because there's two Kutas. The Kuta and Lombok, I don't mind. I think it's kind of nice just because when I got here, I found a lot of spots you could just camp. And there seems to be a lot of police officers just standing around too. Like street police, everywhere you go. So I'm pretty sure it's because of the touristy, but you can see that they're building it up fast, and it's just going to be a tourist town in no time. Like just strictly tourist town. But if you go just a little ways outside of Kuta, you know, the main area down here where they're always trying to sell you like seashell necklaces and stuff, go a little farther out, I found and cut down some alleys and stuff, and you know, there's a few roads. You just need to turn on satellite view and actually try and figure out how to get to some of these places. But yeah, it's I like it because I'm just comparing it to the other spots I've been to. Like Ubud. Ubud was nice. It was strangely nice. You know, it was like that hostel was weird because when you walked in, the hostel was downstairs in those gothy, you know, looking buildings. I think people were living in, or those were rooms too, or something. And it was everything was tucked away in the back alleys in Ubud, and I liked it, but it was very, very touristy. Like so many white people on scooters, you know. That's the bad part, is you can see that they're learning to drive, and you're like, oh no, don't hit me. I had to go through that phase too, but you know, in where was it? In Vietnam. You know, Vietnam is not a good spot to learn, but I actually started in Thailand. Thailand's pretty good for riding scooters. Before Christmas, Steam Element bot running. Steam Element bot running. Oh no, I turned on Steam Element, and now okay, there's a Steam Element bot in here, guys. Ignore it. I was trying to get Steam Element because if I use my data for my phone, it you know, for live stream, it sucks down like 40 gigs. And you know, Flea and everybody's like, why don't you just set your, you know, you're down to 720, right? You can set it lower. Well, you can do that on computer, but you can't do it on phone. So YouTube will, unless you use a third-party app. So Steam Element and Steam Labs, that's what I was trying to, when I was Googling it, AI was like, yeah, you can do it through a third, you know, party app like Steam Element and stuff. So I was like, well, I had Steam Element already downloaded, so I was like, well, I'll try and hook it back up. So it looks like I accidentally turned on a Steam Element bot. All right. So I'm not sure if you guys see that or just me. Hobo Matt, what's up, my brother? What time is it over where you're at? I think there's like a 12-hour difference. So if I can use a third-party app, by the way, guys, I still haven't. I just haven't spent the time to figure out exactly how to do it. It's a little more complicated than just flipping a switch. I'd be able to try and do data streams, you know, live streams off my data package. It's just, this is not like Malaysia, where Malaysia, you know, for 9 days I had 20,000 or 2,000 gigs. That's the package they give you, 2,000 gigs for 9 days, and I could stream as much as I want. Over here, Telkomsel is not so great. They offer you I mean, decent packages, but their largest package is like 200 gigs, and it costs you about 300,000 or something. Um, Actually, it was 200,000 for 200 gigs the other day, but I bought the 100 gigs for 150,000, which I really shouldn't have done that. They recouped the money. Lost. Jay, you're asking, do they have hostels for slightly older crowds? Yeah, it's called retirement homes. No, if you have too many complaints about hostels and you're like, people snoring and stuff like this, you just get a hotel room. Honestly, you have to, if you want certain things, if you have higher requirements, the lower your requirements, the lower the price of the hostel. So, if you want cleanliness, that's going to cost you a little more. If you want better Wi-Fi, that's going to cost you more. And eventually, you're just getting up to the price of a hotel room. So, do they have like 50 or older hostels? No, that's straight up. That's being put in a home by your kids. That's, hey mom, we're gonna be taking you to a hostel. No, it's not a home. Let me catch up on the comments. So I'm not too far behind. Are you going to Mataram, capital city of Lombok? Oh, look that up. So, are you going to Mataram, capital city of Lombok? I'll look that up. I'll see how far it is. I just got here not that long ago, and I came to, I stayed one night in Lambar. That was where I got off the boat, and after that, I came down here, found this spot for 2 nights. Went out exploring the other day to all the spots I wanted to go camping because I was checking out some drone footage that's on Google Maps. Once in a while you can pull up a drone footage and check out the whole surrounding area. And I found a lot of spots. So I did a whole day of scouting out and recon even though I had this place. And I did find some great spots. So I was like, dude, I would love to throw up a tent here. So I went exploring anyway, put on video, so if anybody wants to come out here and do the camping thing instead of doing like the hostels, right? Because there's camping's nice, it is. It's nice just to throw up a tent and camp. And I've been doing it since, my whole life, so I still like it. And I live in a tent and I still like it, so, yeah, so if you watch my video, which will come out here and after I get up the other ones, yeah, it is some really nice areas out here. I didn't do all the touristy areas, so you don't have a lot of video of the main strip here and stuff. It's just straight out to the outskirts of town. Not the outskirts, it's only like 4 kilometers out, so. 7 p.m. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll try and make sure, because I know you're one of my few U.S. people from America that's watching me, so 7 p.m. is not too bad. I'll have to make sure I keep around this time for you. This is the international racetrack called, okay, so this is the new international racetrack here in Kuta that I was out at, riding my bicycle around, called Mandalika. I'm not sure how to get there by bicycle. It is south of the island. Yeah, it's actually just, I think by Google Maps it was only 4 kilometers, and I didn't even notice that, honestly, because I was too busy looking at everything, and it was a very nice drive, but it's a good spot to do an evening ride. There's a lot to kind of take in out there. It looks like they built up some things, and it just didn't work out, or it was in a flood zone or something, and then they tried it, so there's a few things with a question mark, like I wonder what they were trying to do here, would you cycle all the way to Indonesia before? Let's see, Travel Heat. That's too many names there that I just don't know where it's at. So I would actually have to pull out a map and see like what route you're talking about. But if you want to, you can drop the that question in one of my one of the last videos, and I'll look at it. I'll pin it, and I can give you a better answer on that. See if I can make a route of those spots you're talking about. You also, guys, if you don't know, you can get on there's a link in the description of the videos that have my Google Maps journal and every spot I stay every single night. That's open for every country I go to. It has its own folder. I need to make one folder for all of them. That would be kind of cool. But also there's a link to Telegram. And if you want a little more in-depth conversation, where Doug's from Planet Doug's there, and me and Flea, those are probably the most active people on the board. And I mean, we have a few actors. It's just there's some of us you give more of a lengthy lengthy instead of the shorter ones. So yeah, feel free to ask anybody and just go over there and talk to us. Everyone's welcome over there. No complaints about the hostels. Was wondering more about the atmosphere. Hi Hobo. Hope you can do wild camping at Mount Rinjani area. Okay, you guys, make sure drop all these I guess I can pull up the conversation for a little bit, but these recommendations for routes, definitely. You know what? I'll open a post. I'll open up a post and just ask people route recommendations, and in the comments put any route recommendations, and I accept all route recommendations, and I check them out and I look for them, and like I think the last few I got from Adam, and yeah, and actually they come in very handy because I'm just like fly by night type thing. I'm just like that morning I'm like, okay, here's point A, here's point B. How's the easiest way to get there? So, and then where am I going to stay? Where am I going to camp? And that's kind of just how I'm traveling. I let the wind blow and then I just follow it in that direction. Has a fine sand on one side and coarse on the other. I ran into that. Oh, you're in Arizona, Matt? No, wait. In AZM? AZ, Arizona. Tangent. Yeah, I ran into that really coarse sand. Like, it was kind of weird because it's like round, coarse sand. It was almost like, this feels like gravel. Hey, Matt, thank you for the what is that, the super thanks. Thank you, my brother. 6 p.m. West Coast. Are you going to the Philippines? Yeah, I'm going to the Philippines. Nika, I'm going to be going about one more island over, right? So that's where 86 kilometers to the port on this one. Then that's going to be very mountainous. And to get to the port, which their port's somewhere in the middle of the island. So I still have to go through some mountain ranges to get there. And then I'll start heading up north. And I'll have the island directly north of, I can't remember the name of it. It's Indonesian, and then over to Burma, which is Indonesian, and then up to the Malaysian side, and then over to the Philippines. I'll take the same probably boat. I have to look on that Let's Go Cycling. Esfan is actually taken. So he's already kind of blazed the trail for me. So I just kind of I'll follow his route. Might as well. I mean, he's already figured it out, and that'll save me a little. Plus, if I have any problems, I know Doug and Flea or something like that, some other people that watch Let's Go Cycling, they'll say, yeah, no, this is the port that he took, so as long as there's a port there, I think Doug was talking about he didn't even know that there was a port there until Usfin actually took it. So, can you go to Papa's, or you're gonna take a break and find Indomart? Now, I was warned about Papua New Guinea might be scratched off the list because Adam, being a local Indonesian and a cyclist, an avid cyclist, and well, go over to his channel. You see, he also Adam, by the way, also works with kids and stuff like that for cycling and stuff. He has programs. Um, uh, so go to his channel and check it out. And yeah, he does quite a bit. So, and he has a lot of commute routes too that he's actually sent me. So he's been helping out. But he told me about Papua New Guinea. He's like, "Now you probably want to scratch that because there's no way to get through Papua New Guinea, not from one side to the other, and it's all mountainous. So it's basically, yeah, you're not going to be doing any bicycling in Papua New Guinea. So you'd be going to Papua New Guinea." He's like, plus there's guerrilla fighters up in the sticks, and yeah, it's more dangerous, and there's no real through roads. So I'm gonna have to probably scratch off Papua New Guinea as one of those islands I'm just not gonna be able to cycle through. So good to know. I mean, because I that was on my checklist as I try and get to Australia. So Philippines will probably be the last island before I cut down to Australia. I really do want to do Australia. I'm just scared of how expensive it's going to be, but it's also camp friendly, so I'll just have to, make sure that I'm just camping every night. It's like that way my only expenditure going out the door would be food, and then I'll just do a lot of shopping at I'm assuming that I just won't be eating at any type of restaurant or anything like that, obviously. So I'll just be making my own food, so that might be about the time that I should invest in a Bic lighter. I'll just cook it over an open flame. That's fine with me. Make like a hobo burner, out of a can. I've done that in the past. They work great. Yeah, okay, yeah, the CS says there seems to be seems to be a background hissing noise. Yeah, I'm near the waterfall. What it is, let's see. I'll answer this real quick. CS. That's the bar. But so that's the waterfall hissing noises you're hearing. It's a nice pool, man. I jumped in it the other day, and I laid out in the sun just for a little. I was because it's a Muslim country, I try and keep my shirt on as much as possible, just out of respect, for the culture. But not in this area. That's less Muslim. So yesterday, yeah, I was like, well, I'll get a little under. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. I was like, I'll get a little sun on my front on these whites, the spot where my shirt's been on the whole time, and I was like, oh man, that was just from like a half an hour. I was like, good, I needed that. I'll absorb that, and each time, so so yeah, I'm a lobster right now, man, and I can feel it. Normally I don't. These sunburns don't hurt. They don't bother me at all. One time it did. I got cooked so bad that it itched, like itching to the point where it doesn't stop. Like you keep itching and it's like painful because it's like it just doesn't stop. But it's an itching feeling that's just overpowering. And the thing is, I never had that before. I didn't realize that was. I remember kind of hearing about it, but it's one of those things that goes in one ear and out the other. You're like, itching is itching. No, it's like to the point I couldn't sleep because it was so bad. And that was the worst that my sunburn's ever been. And obviously I peeled afterwards and everything, but normally I just peel. So yeah, I got a little cooked, and I was surprised because that sun was hot. And wonder what that's from. Ah, man, that's funny. Yeah, I'm a lobster. So, but you know, like once I absorb it, then I'll be that much more immune to the sun. It's just that initial getting cooked. Uh, okay, let me catch up on it. I watched Usfin's route used by bloggers probably. Um, in Sabah, Malaysia, very tough gravel dirt roads surrounded by jungle for days, lots of bees. He had long times that I took a part of his route up through the mountains of Malaysia on the northern part along the border, where he had where Usfin had that run-in with the elephant. And if you watch my video, I ran into the exact same guy that warned him, right? And I thought he looked familiar from the thumbnail. And he's like, yeah. I mean, he started talking about a guy from Morocco that warned not to camp, and he said go back to the mosque. And so Usman went back to the mosque, and the next day when he was on bicycle, that's when he had the encounter with the elephant. And I said, oh, you mean let's go cycling, this guy? And he's like, yeah, that guy. I'm like, ah, man. So the same guy that warned him warned me. And I was like, oh, I hope this isn't an omen. But I saw the areas where, like, you could see where something big went through the bushes, and you see the elephant poop. Not a lot of it, but there was a few spots. And I was like, well, you know, so it was like one of those things where your anxiety is high because you're expecting it, and then there's signs everywhere, you know, saying beware of the elephants. So yeah, that was a high anxiety ride, but I was able to locate good spots to camp. That abandoned building on the island, because on the island there's not going to be elephants and there's not going to be tigers, and in the building was well protected enough where, so I lucked out. But that was a lot of luck, because if I would have went past the abandoned building and was like, oh, I'll see if I can find something better, I wouldn't have. It would have been just miserable. And yeah, and it rained right after that too. They agree with Flea. There's a good jumping point where you are now with the trans highway. All agree with Flea rings. Mekasara is a good jumping point from where you are now. Do the trans highway all to. Hey Flea, can you give me that recommendation over in Telegram? Your route recommendation. And right now my whole plan for today was just go out, look for a good spot to camp along the southern area before heading up. But yeah, I would like any recommendations that you guys might have. That's Adam, Flea, anybody. You know, just jump over to Telegram and don't make the route too hard though. Keep in mind that, you know, beauty usually comes with a big sacrifice. You know, so beauty of views and stuff like that, cause you have to go through a lot of misery before you get there. So that's kind of like anything in life, but it's so sometimes I judge, okay, like I did in well, several times. I was like in Sumatra and stuff. It was like, okay, you know, beauty and mountains, right? And less traffic, but mountains, or traffic, but a lot more flat. So a lot of times I went for the flatter areas. Actually, I think that was in Java. I did a lot of that. Stay in Valley looks like we love it. Valley was okay. Once I got to Ubud, Valley was okay. Before that, it wasn't. Try to avoid this route, please. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look at Usfin's route again. Is under development. Island in Indonesia. They just started building roads in the past. Okay, for your information, Papua is under development. Underdeveloped island in Indonesia. They just started building roads in the past few years. Even traveling on and off road trucks are difficult. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Papua is probably not going to be one I go to. Beauty is in the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. I'm always amazed how you can ride a bike through all the traffic with a camera in your hand. Love your vlog. Thank you. Thank you for watching my videos. Your YouTube channel is great with a different style. I love this style. It's basically it's just authentic. The reason why is I kind of just pick up the camera and film, because this was just supposed to be it just started with my camera on my phone in Vietnam, and it was just to document at least one of my travels. You know, I've been doing this for 30 years, so, and I've always said, I need to document something. I need to document me hopping the trains and riding them through the United States. That time in Hawaii on the beach, I didn't document any of that. You know, I spent a year just beach bumming in Hawaii. All these things I just really wish I would have documented. So it was like, I really buckled down on this one. I was like, I'm going to document it, but I'm going to use YouTube as a storage area, which I already was. My channel was called just Daniel Salyer, because all my videos were private, and it was just a way to upload and then use that as my storage, my cloud storage, which a lot of people do. But when I started the Vietnam thing, I was just like, let's just keep it public. And if it's going to be public, I might as well change the name to something, right? So, yeah, American Hobo was more of a descriptive title than anything. So I was like, well, I'm from America, and I'm an old hobo, right? You know, that used to, vagabond hobo, that used to stick his thumb out and hop the trains. And actually, technically, I'd be considered a tramp, but hobo is more from the Great Depression times and stuff, and the Dust Bowl, the whole book, the Grapes of Wrath type time. But out of respect for my elders, we still go by hobo once in a while as a title. So because it's the same tradition, just carried on without the work. So we don't do the work anymore, but we still ride the trains. We gave up on those jobs, and so yeah, but we didn't give up on the trains. So I really miss doing that, and I really would like to go back to riding trains, even if it's international. I just don't know how much trouble I might get into doing international. So, but there is one guy that inspires me to do it, is Vagabond. You can check him out. It's VAGA Vagabond. So his channel's on there. I don't see him hopping too many trains international, but he's done enough to get my respect for. He even did the one in Sumatra, going from south to the north on a low priority train, which is the empty coal train. So they fill up in the north in Sumatra and come down, unload in the south, and then go back up north. Well, he hopped them when they were empty, which coal trains you don't really want to ride because they're dirty. They're just dirty. And you want to ride the covered hoppers called the centerfolds. You can ride in the back. There's a little ladder you get in, and there's a hole in the back. You throw your backpack in there, and you can duck down while you're in the yard, so you don't get spotted by the bull. And yeah, you can just ride out that way. It's a nice ride. Boxcars aren't bad, but sometimes the embankment to get up to the boxcars is like a little bit of an incline, so it's a little bit for an older gentleman. It might be, and you're carrying a heavy bag, it's like, Urgh. Then if you got a dog, it's like, Urgh, you know. And then if you got a bike, most hobos don't carry a bike. I've met one guy that does. But then it's climbing in, and then you're just looking out a side like this the whole time. And you can stick your head out and look if you want, but you know, how long are you gonna, you know, be like a dog with his head out the window? Usually want to drop like the railroad spike, you know, one of the down in the slider, or like a 2x4, just in case the door slides shut, it doesn't lock you in. But those things during like summer, they become like big easy bake ovens, and during winter just refrigerators. So even though they keep the wind off you, they do get pretty damn cold. But you can have a fire in one of those because the wood slats at the bottom are really thick, and I know people have done that before, but it's like you'd have to throw in your own firewood that you're trying to load up. But I wouldn't recommend actually having a fire inside a boxcar, because if you're, depending on how far back you are, there's going to be smoke coming out of that, and that's going to raise an alarm. But yeah, it's like yeah, you might get in trouble for that. All right, let's see. Let's see. There's a lot of jungle, so you have to plan your route carefully. I'm letting Google Maps plan my route. If there's a road, if it says there's a road there, then I'm going to take the road, and then I'm going to just kind of see what type of elevation I'm going to be going. Honestly, it's, when people say you have to plan your route carefully, it's like, do you plan your route when you get in a car? Do you do that? Like do you spend weeks and weeks to figure out how you're going to drive from point A to point B, or do you just get in your car and start driving, you know? So I'm treating, most people that do bicycle routes, if you look at route planning and stuff like that on YouTube or anything, it's more or less to see how many like scenic things that you can see, and trying to plan a route around that. So like, oh, I want to go to this viewpoint, and I want to go to this national forest, and I want to go to this, and let's see the best route for doing all that. That's the only real reason to plan a route. You can also look about the elevation, but the thing is, you're going to still, even knowing the elevation, you're still going to be pushing through it. I mean, you can try and figure a way around it, but if you got to go through a mountain pass, you got to go through a mountain pass. A mountain pass stretches on for, you know, miles, and the only reason the road goes through it is because the road couldn't go around it. So you're still going to have to struggle through it. So why a lot of planning doesn't go into it is my routes, is because I'm not really going, oh, I want to go here, 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 here. I do that with maybe camping. Or, you know, I'll say this is a nice spot, I'll go here, but I don't try and plan out all the touristy things to do along the way. I'm just kind of roaming. So I've been fairly lucky that I haven't hit, you know, I haven't gotten my ass into a jackpot yet, but it's bound to happen. But that happens all the time when you're traveling anyway, is things go bad, you know, you get stuck at a border, or this or that. Like, it's just, you know, you can do all the planning in the world, it just doesn't, you know, go through. So anyway, so yeah, thank God your $1 room doesn't seem to be under a bridge. No, it's not. I've been monetized for a while now. YouTube, after about 4 or 5 months, so I got monetized. So yeah, it was kind of hard to monetize my channel being in a different country, but I found someone that allowed me to use their phone back in the United States and their address back in the United States. It was 2 different people, but I mean, one person was selling his house, so I couldn't use his address, but I used his phone number. And yeah, so monetization can be a little difficult if you don't have a U.S. number, or wherever you're coming from. If you're monetized, if you're a citizen of Indonesia, you need an Indonesian number and address. But all right, guys, it's 44 minutes. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on routes and stuff, either drop them in the comments on my videos. I'll take a look at them, or you can pop over to, if you want more in-depth, like you want to share screenshots and pictures, or, you know, Telegram is linked in the description, and you can share PDF files, everything over there. The reason why I did the Telegram is when I first started the channel, it seemed like a lot of people were not, they would post a comment and then that comment would get removed. Even when I set, you know, all the settings to where basically anything could be posted, YouTube still, you know, pulls certain comments even today. So over there at Telegram, you know, your comments won't get buried and they'll stay up longer. Yeah, okay, guys, I'm gonna get off to promote your channel with the locals. You should promote your channel with the locals. You get more subscribers. All my subscribers are locals. Honestly, most of my subscribers are Malaysian and Indonesian. I don't seem to have a whole lot from the United States. I got Matt and a few others, but it's, yeah, most of my, it's like when I go into a new country, that country starts watching me. And that's the only time. It's, honestly, YouTube, the algorithm just doesn't like me. Doesn't like my content right now. Honestly, it's like, and I don't know. I have a little bit of a problem getting too clickbaity on on the thumbnails, right? And you know, it's like I want the title to somewhat describe, but it's like, you know, the subject matter without, you know, it's my thumbnails are not good enough. My titles are not good enough. My videos are sometimes too long. You know, it's, I don't know exactly what the reason why the algorithm sleeps on me, but it's woken up twice on me. Like when I first started, I had a part where I ended up getting something like 800 subscribers within just a few days, which was nice, and then just like crickets, you know. And then when I got into Malaysia a little bit, it kicked back in. That was called the Malaysian bump. That's why, because Malaysian people like watching foreigners come to the country, try their food and stuff. But that's why if you look at a video and you have some foreigner just stuffing his face with nasi lemak or something, and you have foreigner tries nasi lemak for the first time, it's got like 1 million views. But the thing is, there's like 1 million, and so what you have is you just have a lot of people putting out cheap content like that. They're like, well, if that's the only thing the Malaysians want to watch, then that's all I'm going to put out. You know, is so, and I'm not a foodie, one, and I'm just like, well, I'm not going to start making content like that because that's not my content. My content's just a daily vlog of me being a hobo in life. You know, me going from point A to point B with no real goal past that, no real goal before that. Just kind of living life as it comes to me, you know. So, I mean, so I struggle, is like, yeah, if I really want to do that, I can, and that's what the people want. You know, like videos about me get 1 million views. Videos from me get 200 views, you know, so that's true. Look at the shorts that were made about me. They got like ridiculous amount, you know, about the time when I was complaining about the garbage. But my video that was me complaining about the garbage that they cut up and stuff, you know, it's got 1,000 views. It done got 1 million views, you know. It's like, so that's just how it is. So what I need to do is come to my inner peace, you know, about, well, I'm not going to be a big channel. I mean, you know, I can look at like Usfin, and the reason why I don't watch Usfin so much is because there's a little bit of green with envy that kicks in. It's like, what am I not doing that he's doing, you know? Well, it's like, well, he doesn't talk. Should I stop talking, you know? You know, he's like, what's he doing? You know, it's like, well, he's only sending out 1 video every week. Should I just not do that? You know, should I just do that? You know, it's like, so I hold him up, I respect him, and I hold him up as a marker of just saying, hey, you know, you don't need to do everything, you know, you don't have to do a daily vlog. You don't really have to talk a whole lot. You don't really have, so very much appreciate that. But watching his videos, it's just like the algorithm picked him up and loves him. And I'm glad he's a rock star, man. And actually, he's, I'm kind of following his path, but but why is he, got all the views and stuff? I don't know what his magic formula is, but I'm just glad he's doing it, brother. I think that rocks. And another person I really like is homeless Kiwi in London. Man, I've kind of been binge watching his videos, but I watched him sprout up in 2 weeks. And he got monetized in 2 weeks or something crazy. And one of his videos got 250,000 views. And that guy's crazy, but I like him because I think he's a cool cat. I think he's just a cool cat. And honestly, guys, if you don't know who Homeless Kiwi in London is, go over and watch his videos. It's just about him finding camping spots right now because winter time. His videos gotten a lot better quality-wise and stuff, and you can see him editing and stuff. But I like him because I know he's a for real homeless person with the right attitude, and he's doing it by choice. It's not one of these, oh, I'm homeless. No, it's like, I want to be homeless. And there's a struggle at first when you're like, you go from the work world to the homeless world, the work world, and homeless vagabond world. And then eventually you have to come to terms with it. It's like, which one am I? Am I the vagabond or am I the worker bee? You're not the worker bee, become the vagabond. And the work world disagrees with some of us. Not that we don't mind working, it's just we want this freedom that we got a small taste of, and now that's all we want, And it cost us security, it cost us a lot of things. It cost us not being able to have a family. It's not being able to have a wife, kids, a house. This is what it costs to live this life. But there's no life better. This is the best life of adventure and travel. And it's like, man, if you guys just find yourself at the 9 to 5, and you don't have the wife, you don't have the kid, and you just don't seem like anything's working out for you, well then just get rid of it all and just do this. Go out, do this. I promote this lifestyle. I say, hey, if that other lifestyle is not working out, compare the two, figure out which one you are, and be it. So he's another one that totally feels the same way, and I think that dude's awesome, and I'm gonna continue supporting his channel. Yeah, even though he's way bigger than me. All right, guys, I'm sorry. That was just a hobo ramble right there at the end. I'm glad you guys all joined me. We're going on an hour. And yeah, I'll try and get this next video out right now. I have one in stock for you guys. Okay, guys? Let's see. Yeah, homeless. Yeah. I'll post his channel, so you guys know. And yeah. All right. Peace out, guys. See you later.